what about your deal, Jonathan? Bring us up to date on your deal here.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So we just kind of the latest update. We got a buyer on the property.
Round of applause, please.
Yeah. We got a buyer.
Tell everybody quickly who doesn't know about your deal.
Actually, what I did was I went to the county court, to the courthouse, to see who was placing cash bids on properties at foreclosure sales, because obviously they're going to have some money to spend, and wrote down a list of about 30 different names, contacted a gentleman at 2 o'clock, met with him at 3 o'clock. At 5 o'clock, he gave me a full price offer.
Wow. Can we give a round of applause to this gentleman?
That's awesome.
Can we ask you how much money you made?
Sure, yeah. So got it under contract for 38. I'm buying it. I was buying it for 25. I took it back to the seller. The feedback that I was getting from the guys that was coming to look at the house, and I kind of leveraged that to actually get the price moved down to 20. So making 18, minus costs. So
very good, great,
very good. So what'd you net?
Netting 18. I'm going to have to get some transactional funding to do like a double close. So that's going to cost about $1,000.
Okay. Is that a lawyer fee or title company or?
No, title company. I think is going to run about between $300 and $400. No, the transactional funding. Basically, they're going to fund the deal for me for my purchase, and then I'm going to turn around and sell it to the investor that I'm selling it to. So for those transactional funds, basically for borrowing money for about an hour.
Yeah, I've done that before, and I've done this for people before, so I know what you're saying. Yeah,
Let me a question, Jonathan.
Yep.
How come was this required by the buyer? Because in some cases you can do it pretty simple by just selling the contract and doing a simple one-on-one transference of the agreement, an assignment.
Yeah. So basically, when I talk to the title company, everything is going to be disclosed. If I do it just through a simple assignment, the buyer is going to see basically what I'm making on the deal. So to kind of keep everything relationally, just kind of between me and them, my A to B transaction just between me and them. That's why I'm doing it this way.
Okay. Well, you got to tell us just take a minute or two, because there's some new people on board here, particularly Valerie. Tell them how you found this deal, basically. What you did, how you found it, how you got it under contract, how much money did you need to tie this thing up?
Yeah. Okay. So basically, I did some signs for those little chloroplast signs you see. I don't know what the name of it is, but basically those small little yard signs by houses with my phone number on there. And generated, I put out about 50 signs around Charlotte, and from that it generated about 30 phone calls within 3 to 4 days.
What did they say? Free barbecue at Jonathan's house?
No, it just said I buy houses in my phone number.
And the phone number nice and large so people on cell phones could call?
Yep. And I used a service called Call Grading. It's a free service. Callgrading.com. I'll put it in the bottom down here.
Can everybody see that?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
But basically, it's a free kind of tracking tool where you can get a almost like a call tracking number and record the calls. So you can go back in there if you miss a call or whatnot, and kind of use this as a tool to almost like a call forwarding type thing to redirect the call to wherever you want to point it to. So you could have basically, one phone number for one side of the, whatever type of medium you're using to advertise. For instance, direct mail. Let's say you've got a number for that, and then a number for your yard signs. You're basically able to see which type of advertising is the most effective for you.
How much did you tell us how much you put down on this contract?
I didn't tell you. I didn't put anything down.
Oh, wow. How dare you? How do you sleep at night?
No.
Now, how did you how did you do that?
Yeah, so
you should write a book. Nothing down.
I think it's been done, John.
So I fielded a bunch of calls, and And this is actually a call that would seem less intriguing because the seller's boyfriend called me, and it kind of sounded a little loosey-goosey, so to speak. But I've been trying to follow up on every lead, and so when I spoke with them, put it in touch. Long story short, kind of got an estimate of what they wanted for the property, what they felt comfortable with from the property that day. I said, well, let's go ahead and meet. I took a contract with me, one with a certain offer and one with no offer on it. And I basically, pulled a couple numbers and just kind of shared a couple details with them. I said what I thought I needed to buy it for to make money on it. And she was comfortable with that. And I said, well, this is what's going to happen. You're going to sign this. We're going to close it out in about 45 days. That gives me plenty of time to, find a buyer on the property. And she was comfortable.
And was this as a lease option, or were you buying it?
Yes, this was purely a purchase. She just needed the money. She's in a situation where she just needs the full price right now, and
so
of course
all
made an
cash?
offer accordingly. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So how about that deal, folks? Pretty exciting, huh?
Very good. Very
Jonathan, when did we start? About 2 weeks ago or something?
Yeah.
So
something like that. Yeah.
Pretty good. I like seeing deals happen. $18,000. How does the missus feel about this?
So I really didn't fill her in on the details until I get the check in my hand.
So what are you going to do? Just put $100 bills on the bed with a bottle of wine or something?
I told her she's got a
this
big.
This is the way my mind works, folks. I'm sorry.
To use the Claudeism, he asked his wife or girlfriend, and she said it was okay to take $18,000.
It's funny. Claude knows this, but we're in the process of buying a house or building a house here locally, and need about 3.5% to put down to be able to close this thing. And kind of going with Claude was definitely a leap of faith, spending what didn't have all of our down payment money to make it work, but still, took some of that to get working with Claude. And from that, from this transaction, knowing that we've got everything taken care of, I did tell my wife, I said, hey, we're set now. So she knows we're in good shape. So
good for you, man. That's really motivating. Thank you for sharing that. What do you think you did? I'll ask you one last question, then we'll move on a little here. What do you think you did differently that you haven't? What have you learned, or what did you do differently that you never did before? Maybe it's an unfair question, but
yeah. I don't know if I've wholesaled a deal before a few years ago when I was first in this. I think the biggest thing probably differently was using some of the guts techniques with how I approach the seller on the property.
What do you mean by that? I'm not sure if I understand. Help me out.
As you use guts on me. So basically, even when it came to negotiation, what does she feel comfortable with? Making sure she knows right up front this isn't something where she's got to say yes to me. I'm fine with her saying no. Let's just find something that works for both of us. When she does, when she finally came to a number, really kind of reinforcing it and not just taking her first yes, but going back and really kind of hammering her for about 3 or 4 yeses. Before I moved on. That way I didn't have any worries about it, the next day. So a few of those things I really haven't run into, and even with the person that I've sold it to, just kind of reinforcing that to make sure I don't have any kind of worries after you get the transaction done. So, it's a great deal, man. It made sense for everybody involved. So that's the thing I'm really glad about.
Well, good for you, man. I love hearing that.